Yeah, I'll react to that, sure. Hi. Hey guys, so Magna Carta. Continuing my journey to learn everything British. So Americans don't know a lot about history. That's the thing around the world, the joke. Well, I'm going to learn more about British history than any Brits do, just to get back at you. No, okay, so my name's Connor. I'm from New England. Better England. I hope you're all doing well. Original link to the video, top of the description. Right below that, link to the Discord. Click on it. It will send you right over there. Makes it easier for me to interact with you. Or don't, it's not, not for everyone. Let's go. Yeah, so I believe it was Magna Carta was like a limiting, like the king could just like jail anyone he wanted to, like even like the lords around the land, he could just like jail them for no reason. And they all banded up to say, hey, you can't do that anymore. Is that close? I think I'm pretty close. Ooh. Evolution of Indo-European languages. Instant channels. Okay, yeah, let's go. Okay, why isn't that sound on? Why is the sound default headphones? There we go.
This may look like a plain, unassuming piece of parchment, but it's actually one of the most famous documents in the world.
Start over.
This may look like a plain, unassuming piece of parchment, but it's actually one of the most famous documents in the world. Magna Carta, meaning the Great Charter, has inspired people across the centuries, from Thomas Jefferson to Mahatma Gandhi. But why was the Charter originally created, and what does it actually say? Let us take you back to medieval England. It's the year 1215, and the ruler is King John. Many people believe that King John was one of the worst kings in history. He imprisoned his former wife, he starved his opponents to death, he allegedly murdered his own nephew, and pulled the beards of the Irish chiefs.
That seems pretty standard to me, honestly. That doesn't seem too bad as far as kings go.
King John had imposed heavy taxes on his barons in order to pay for his expensive foreign wars. If they refused to pay, he punished them severely or seized their property. The barons demanded that King John...
Okay, so it wasn't just that he was jailing anyone he wanted. It was that the king had the power to, fight certain wars, and he demanded you give him the resources to do so, and people thought that was unfair, but if you denied it, he would just take it. Okay.
Obey the law. When he refused, they captured London, punished them severely, or seized their property. The barons...
What is the difference between a baron and a lord? And like a viscount and an earl?
Demanded that King John obey the law. When he refused, they captured London, and John was forced to negotiate. The two sides met at Runnymede in June 1215. The result of the negotiations was written down by the king's clerks into the document we know as Magna Carta. Although most of the Charter's clauses dealt with medieval rights and customs, Magna Carta...
Wait, what does it say? Liberata fam fursem baronty legend Michael? I don't know. I had a question.
Most of the Charter's clauses dealt with medieval rights and customs. Magna Carta has become a powerful symbol of liberty around the world. It's the most famous clause, which is still part of the law today, for the first time gave all free men the right to justice and a fair trial.
You guys know what's crazy? And, I'm just speaking for myself here, okay? I'm one person. talking about my education experience, learning about American history growing up. So other people could have different experiences, or I could have just been a bad student. I always kind of like growing up. I always thought like, of course we broke away from the English, from the British, and all of this new stuff we came up with, like, I thought that the American Revolution was so much more revolutionary than it actually was. It obviously was, in like, it's a colony from the most powerful country, and it's successfully seceded or gained independence. But all of like the laws and stuff, I always like freedom of speech and fair trial. I always thought was like such an American thing, and I'm learning more and more that this stuff didn't just pop out of nowhere, out of like the minds of the founding fathers, all the way back thousands of years, like the Code of Hammurabi. There's always been these, and up to here, these kind of Hammurabi. I'm going too far back, but so much of it was based off of English stuff that we tweaked rather than just like made up. And I should have known that. I'm not like blaming the American education system, but that's a mind opener.
No man shall be arrested or imprisoned except by the judgment of their equals and by the law of the land. To no one will we sell. However, this clause was not as liberal as it sounds. The Charter only applied to free men. The vast majority of people in 1215 were unfree peasants who were ruled over by their landowners.
That's what serfdom is, right?
And although Magna Carta was intended to create peace between King John and his rebellious barons, England was plunged into civil war after the popes declared the charter invalid. When King John died of dysentery in 1216, 9-year-old
diarrhea has to be the biggest killer in history.
Henry III took to the throne. To keep the peace, Magna Carta was reissued several times during the 13th century, until it was finally made part of English law. Magna Carta has lived on for 800 years and is echoed in the United States Declaration of Independence and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Perhaps Magna Carta's most important legacy is that everyone, including our leaders, must obey the law. What started out as a document of specific complaints from a group of barons has turned into an international symbol of liberty, without which we might not have the rights we value so much today.
Short video, and I learned a lot. Perfect. I really want to look at the Indo-European language video right here. Really interesting. I learned a lot in such a short amount of time, and yeah, America didn't invent all this stuff out of thin air. I'm not speaking for everyone. I hope you're all doing well. All right, if not, chin up. You'll be good soon. Don't worry. Bye, guys.